Hey guys, welcome to another cooking video and happy July 4th. And as promised, I told you guys I would make something for you for that. Plus it's Saturday. This recipe is the very first thing I ever learned how to bake. When I first started baking, I was 13. You know, when you're that young, they don't necessarily want you to bake with the oven and all that. And yes, this is something I've made a lot. So a good, family friendly recipe if you want your kid to get into baking or something. But we're just gonna make some Rice Krispie treats today. And normally you can do it all in one bowl. Today, I will be mixing it in 3 different bowls because I will be coloring it. But if you just want like the traditional Rice Krispies or Rice Krispie squares, then you can just grab one big bowl and mix everything in. For this one, if you're following along to make it yourself, grab 3 bowls. You'll also want a 9x9-inch tray. Okay, so there's our ingredients. You can see it's pretty minimal, which I'm grateful for because I already did a baking video for you guys a few days ago. So that one cost a lot more than this one. But yeah, so you'll just want a box of Rice Krispies. It doesn't have to be like this family size box, but a regular size box will be perfectly fine. And then grab a bag of mini marshmallows. The 400 grams is perfect. Yeah, you'll use all of them. And then you'll want some vanilla extract and then also butter, margarine, whatever your preference. Okay, and for food coloring, you'll need the red food coloring and the blue. We'll be doing 3 colors. The traditional Rice Krispies is white, so one color will be white, so the recipe without food coloring, and then we'll put drops of the red and blue into the other bowls. And then over here we have the 9x9-inch pan. Okay, so we have our marshmallows that I've already started opening, and we're just going to do it all kind of together. Okay, in the big bowl, 2 cups of marshmallows. And then another 2 cups for this bowl. Okay, and 2 cups for the last bowl. Okay, so we have 3 bowls full of our marshmallows. Then you grab your margarine or butter, and each bowl will get 1 tablespoon. Then grab your vanilla, and each bowl will get 1/4 teaspoon. And then this is where is really your preference. It's a little easier if you're just not adding food coloring and do the traditional, because then you could just put it on the stove. But since we have 3 bowls, you gotta warm it up. You gotta melt the marshmallows. So you're probably gonna have to do it in steps. I know I will. But if your microwave is absolutely huge and you think you can fit all 3 bowls in, I guess you could do that. Okay, so there they are. So if you have a big enough microwave, you could warm it up all together. It will, of course, take a little longer for 3 bowls in there, but it's not going to take long to melt marshmallows anyway. So, okay, so as you can see, it definitely rises a bit. I have noticed that our 3rd bowl kind of... okay, never mind. I was going to say it looks like how it looked when we put it in, but yeah, it's just a little deceiving, but it is melted. Okay. So all in all, that was roughly 1.5 minutes. Okay, so we'll start with our big bowl here. So just mix it in. And then you're going to grab Rice Krispies. Okay, so we have our 2 cups of Rice Krispies. That can go in there. And I'm just going to stir that in. Okay, so for this part, you want your food coloring in first before the Rice Krispies. So we're going to do the red one for this batch. And do like 7. And that way it'll come out a dark red. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then stir that. Ooh, that's a pretty red. Almost looks purple, purplish pink. Okay, so that's good there. And then another 2 cups of Rice Krispies. Okay. And then stir. And this spoon is done when you're done this because it's red. Yeah, so you don't want to use it to stir the next batch. Not unless you decide to wash it, but it's going to be very sticky. It's going to take a little bit to wash. Okay, and now the blue food coloring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then your 2 cups of Rice Krispies. Add in. Now come over to your greased pan. I'm going to start with the red, which is looking a little more pinkish, but that is fine. Okay. Now, as far as spreading it, you want to only use the spoon you were stirring with, or else you'll start combining colors into the different layers. So only use this spoon. Or you could use a spatula, but you'll have to rinse it every time, so you're not getting like your red into your pink, or your red into your blue. So it is a little tough to get into the corners because it's super sticky. It's a big reason why this isn't a normal recipe that I make. I made it when I was a kid, and I haven't really made it since. Was never like the biggest fan of Rice Krispie treats just because they're so sticky, but I thought it would be a cool thing for today. I'm going to use this small spoon that I was kind of using before just to try to flatten it a bit. So you'll want to flatten it, but don't push too hard down or else your treats will just end up really hard. Yeah. Like if you've ever had like a really tough to eat Rice Krispie treat, that's why, because it was pushed down too much in the pan. So just lightly push it down, but you still want to cover all your sides. Make sure there's no holes. Okay, so that is our first layer of red. Now we're going to grab the regular Rice Krispie and we'll just do one over there. And when you spoon it on, try to do it in different corners of your tray because this stuff is super tough to spread. So any way you can make it easier on yourself helps. Okay, I'm going to keep that little bit in there just in case we need it to cover holes. Okay, so rinse whatever you were using to help with the rinse the second spoon if you're using a second spoon. I find it easier to have two spoons to do this. One to kind of push down and then the other to spread as you're pushing down. Okay, so just do like that. This is honestly the longest part of the whole recipe. Everything else is super quick to do. Okay, so there is our middle layer, the white. Now for the final layer, the blue. Okay, guys, so this is our final layer. I'm just using a knife to kind of level it out a little bit. This one was the toughest layer. Well, to be fair, the first two bowls were about the same stickiness. The blue one was extra sticky, yeah. So it was a lot tougher because, well, as you know, if it's super sticky, then it's hard to even get off the spoon. But it all worked out. So we're just going to make it look pretty since it is the top layer. Okay, so that is good enough. Okay, guys, so that is our Rice Krispie treat. So it is done. Now you just put it in the fridge. You'll want it to chill for at least an hour. I'm the type of person that generally leaves things overnight, but it is earlier in the day, so maybe I'll have some tonight. Okay, so in the fridge it goes. And as you can see, I have just enough space for it. And yeah. So that is the Rice Krispie treats. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great July 4th, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.